Confidence is not a personality trait. It is not luck. It is not arrogance. Confidence is not something you gain. It is a decision you enforce daily. Most people wait for permission to feel powerful. They wait for validation. They wait to be chosen. They wait to be ready. That is why they stay invisible. This audiobook is not about feeling good. It is about becoming mentally untouchable. Dangerous confidence is the kind that does not beg for approval, does not explain itself, does not shrink when challenged, does not disappear under pressure. By the end of this audiobook, you will stop doubting yourself in rooms that matter, stop overthinking simple decisions, stop fearing judgment, rejection, or failure. Start moving like someone who deserves respect, because you do. This audiobook is not here to motivate you. It is here to reprogram how you relate to yourself. Because most people don't lack confidence, they lack an internal structure that supports them when things feel uncertain. Their emotions lead, their fear negotiates, their actions wait. This audiobook is about changing that. Not by pretending you're confident, not by hyping yourself up, but by removing the habits that quietly destroy confidence every day and replacing them with behaviors that make confidence inevitable. If you listen carefully, something subtle will happen. You will stop asking, stop shrinking, stop bracing. And when that happens, confidence will no longer be something you perform, it will be something people feel in your presence. Let's begin. Chapter 1. Stop seeking validation. Confidence is not borrowed. It is not given. It cannot be found in likes, applause, or nods of approval. And yet, most people live their lives chasing it, waiting for someone else to tell them they are enough, hoping for permission to exist. Let me tell you something. The moment your confidence depends on others, you lose it completely. Confidence collapses when you need others' approval. Think about it. Every time you wait for someone to say, yes, you're right, or good job, your power is gone. Your focus is outside of you. Your energy is given away for free. Approval addiction is subtle. It doesn't always show up as insecurity in obvious ways. It hides in small acts. Over-explaining yourself, checking if your idea was liked, hesitating before you speak because you fear judgment. Every should I, or maybe they won't like it, is a tiny fracture in your confidence. Powerful people don't seek approval. They don't ask for permission. They move, they act, they decide. When you stop needing validation, something shifts inside you. Your energy is no longer split. You stop shrinking in front of others. You stop apologizing for existing. Hesitation grows when others' opinions outweigh your own. Hesitation is the silent killer of success. It creeps in when you allow the judgment of others to outweigh your own instincts. Every time you defer to someone else's opinion, you train your mind to doubt itself. You give your power away. You make indecision a habit. Think about all the times you paused, waited, or overthought because someone else might disapprove. All that hesitation costs you. It costs opportunities. It costs momentum. It costs the respect of people who would follow a decisive leader. Here's the truth. Your opinion about yourself is the only one that matters first. When your own judgment is louder than outside voices, hesitation disappears. Action becomes natural. Confidence shows itself through movement. Relying on validation makes you weak and reactive. When your self-worth depends on someone else's nod, you are always reactive. Your mood swings with the winds of opinion. Every rejection stings. Every critique bites. Every silence feels like a verdict. This is weakness, and here's the brutal reality. Weak people are always controlled by others. Think about it. If your confidence can be destroyed by a text, a glance, or a comment, you are not in charge of your life. Someone else is. You are giving them authority over your emotions.
Stop it. Stop relying on reactions outside yourself. Stop giving away your emotional power. Reactive people never lead. Reactive people never inspire. They are followed only when convenient. Confidence is not a reflection of how others see you. It is the knowledge of who you are, independent of reaction. Confident people listen, but stay in control. Now, I'm not saying ignore advice or reject feedback blindly. Confident people listen carefully, but they never surrender control. Here's the difference. A reactive person says, "I must change to be liked." A confident person says, "I will hear you, but I decide what to do." Listening without surrendering is a skill. It means you gather information, you assess it, and you act according to your judgment, not theirs. This is how authority is maintained. This is how respect is earned. Every time you listen but defer, you weaken yourself. Every time you act without internal permission, you strengthen it. Confident people operate from an internal compass. Their decisions are measured, deliberate, and self-sustained. True confidence comes when your own judgment is final. It's not arrogant, it's not stubborn, it's not reckless, it's necessary. You cannot outsource confidence. You cannot delegate self-respect. You cannot hand over your power to the approval of others. True confidence is the quiet authority you carry inside yourself. It is the certainty that you can handle any outcome, any critique, any rejection, any applause without needing it to survive. When your judgment is final, hesitation disappears, anxiety fades, you stop explaining, you move with intent. And here's the kicker. The more you assert your internal authority, the more others start to respect it naturally. Notice this, you don't demand respect, you earn it by being decisive, firm, and internally aligned. Transformational action steps. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds good, but how do I start? Here's your first action plan. Audit your decisions, look at the last week, identify every choice you made because of someone else's judgment. Cut dependency. Pick one area where you've been seeking approval and make a choice based on your judgment alone. Track emotional reactions. Notice how often your mood shifts because of others' opinions. Name it, then reclaim your emotional power. Declare your authority. Before acting on anything, ask yourself, am I doing this because I want to or because someone else will approve? Choose yourself. Practice silence. Stop over-explaining. Let your actions speak. Let your presence carry weight. Chapter takeaway. Stop giving your power away. Stop letting approval dictate your mood, your decisions, or your life. Confidence is built inside. It begins the moment you declare your judgment final. When you master this, hesitation fades. Action becomes natural. And here's the next step. You will need to understand why you've been doubting yourself for so long and why that doubt has been controlling your life.
Chapter 2. Understand why you doubt yourself. Self-doubt doesn't appear out of nowhere. It isn't a random glitch in your brain. It's learned. It is taught. It is reinforced day by day, experience by experience. And here's the thing. If you want confidence that lasts, you must understand why you've doubted yourself in the first place. Self-doubt is learned, not random. Think back. Every time you hesitated, second-guessed yourself, or worried about what others would think, somewhere, someone taught you that. Maybe it was a parent, a teacher, a friend, or even society itself. You shouldn't speak up. You might fail. Don't embarrass yourself. These messages were not meant to break you. Often they were intended to protect you, to keep you safe, to keep you accepted. And so your brain learned a simple rule. Doubt yourself and you survive. But here's the problem. What worked then doesn't work now.
Doubt was once a form of protection. Early in life, self-doubt is useful. It keeps you from danger. It keeps you from social punishment. It keeps you in line. Doubt helped you avoid speaking out in ways that would get you hurt, stay accepted by peers, survive criticism or shame. It was a survival tool. But here's the brutal truth. The same survival tool now holds you back. When you hesitate because of imagined judgment, that is old programming. When you question your ideas before sharing them, that is protection gone wrong. When you shrink instead of moving forward, that is doubt doing its job on the wrong battlefield. What helped you survive then may now hold you back. Here's the secret most people never face. Confidence and survival are different. Survival is about staying safe. Confidence is about taking charge. The doubt that once kept you from rejection now keeps you from opportunity. The caution that once protected you now prevents you from growing. The hesitations that once earned you acceptance now steal your identity. Every time you let doubt rule, you reinforce old habits that were never meant for the life you want now. Ask yourself, how many chances have I skipped because of what if they judge me? How many ideas have I silenced because I feared rejection? How often have I hidden instead of acting because doubt whispered, better not? Those habits are invisible chains, chains you didn't know you carried. Understanding this removes shame. Here's the relief. Realizing doubt is learned takes the shame away. You are not weak. You are not flawed. You are not broken. You were taught a pattern that served a purpose, and now it's outdated. When you see doubt as learned, not inherent, you stop blaming yourself. You stop punishing yourself for hesitating. You stop self-attacking when fear whispers you can't do it. Awareness is the first step toward freedom. Understanding is the first step toward reclaiming authority over your own mind. Confidence grows when old habits are retired and action replaces hesitation. Here's the hard part. Awareness alone isn't enough. You must actively retire old habits. You must choose new rules for yourself. This is where transformation happens. Notice your doubt. Pay attention to the moments it shows up. Name it. Say silently, this is my old survival mechanism. It is not truth. Override it with action. Speak, move, or decide despite the doubt. Rewire your brain. Each time you act, you reinforce a new pattern. Doubt only has power if you obey it. Confidence grows the moment you act in spite of fear, in spite of old rules, in spite of hesitation. This is not a one-time fix. This is daily practice. It is discipline applied to your mind. Practical transformation steps. Audit your triggers. Identify situations where doubt takes over. Is it social interactions, work decisions, personal goals? Trace the origin. Ask yourself, when did I first learn to doubt here? Who influenced me? Label the habit. Name it as a learned pattern, not a personal flaw. Act anyway. In small steps, override doubt with decisions and actions. Track progress. Notice how each act builds internal authority and weakens the old habit. Every action you take is a vote for the confident version of yourself. Every hesitation you overcome chips away at the old self. Chapter Takeaway. Self-doubt is not proof of weakness, it's proof that you've been programmed to survive. When you understand where it comes from, you stop punishing yourself. When you stop obeying it, you reclaim control. Confidence grows when old habits are retired and action replaces hesitation. Next, we move to Chapter 3, Separate Your Worth from Results, where you'll learn how to stop letting outcomes dictate your identity and stop giving fear control over your actions. Chapter 3, Separate Your Worth from Results. Listen carefully.
Your value is not tied to what you achieve. It's not tied to the applause, the promotion, the win, or the recognition. Yet most people define themselves by results. They let outcomes control their mood, their confidence, their decisions. They measure themselves by wins and losses. Stop. This thinking is dangerous. When your self-worth is tied to results, you are always at the mercy of external events. Every setback feels like a verdict. Every failure feels like a judgment. Every missed opportunity chips away at who you believe yourself to be. That is not confidence. That is slavery to circumstance. Your value is not defined by success or failure. Understand this truth. You are valuable because you exist, not because of what you do, not because of what you accomplish. Results are temporary. They rise and fall like tides. If your confidence rises and falls with them, you are riding someone else's wave. Your worth is inherent. It is constant. It is independent of applause, recognition, or outcome. Stop letting wins dictate your mood. Stop letting losses define your identity. If you fail today, it doesn't make you a failure. If you succeed tomorrow, it doesn't make you more than you already are. Fearing outcomes make action feel risky. Now, fear is a natural response. We all feel it. But here's the problem. When you tie your self-worth to results, fear escalates. Every decision feels risky. Every step forward is paralyzed by what if I fail? What if I lose? What if they laugh? What if I'm wrong? This is not hesitation. This is fear disguised as logic. Confident people don't ignore risk. They don't pretend it doesn't exist. They acknowledge it, but they act anyway. When you separate your worth from the outcome, action becomes easy. The risk no longer paralyzes you. You move because you must act, regardless of the result. Losses aren't personal when identity is separate from performance. Let me be blunt. Failure will happen. Mistakes will happen. Rejection will happen. If your identity is tied to success, these moments are devastating. Your self-esteem collapses. You doubt everything about yourself. But when your identity is independent of performance, losses are data. They are information, not judgment. They are feedback, not verdicts. Every failure becomes a lesson. Every setback becomes a step forward. Every criticism becomes fuel. Separating your self-worth from results transforms every loss into an opportunity to grow. Confident people focus on effort, not applause. Here's what separates the weak from the unshakable: effort over outcome. Confident people don't chase applause. They don't chase recognition. They chase discipline, action, and execution. Why? Because effort is controllable. Results are not. You cannot control whether someone praises you. You cannot control whether a plan succeeds, but you can control how hard you work. You can control the commitment you bring. Focus on effort. Focus on preparation. Focus on showing up. When you do this, results follow naturally, and even if they don't, your confidence remains intact. Detachment frees you to act fully. This is where transformation happens. Detachment. Detachment is not indifference. Detachment is not apathy. Detachment is freedom. It is the freedom to act without needing validation from the world. The freedom to risk failure without fear of judgment. The freedom to move forward when others would hesitate. When you are detached from results, action is no longer scary. Decision-making is faster. Momentum builds naturally. Confidence grows organically. Detachment is the key to unshakable presence. Practical action steps. Audit your reactions. Identify situations where outcomes control your mood or confidence. Separate effort from outcome. Before acting, focus only on what you can control: your effort, your preparation, your commitment. Reframe failure. Treat mistakes as data, not as judgments on your value. Practice detachment.
Take small risks where the outcome doesn't matter. Act without seeking recognition. Track your growth. Notice how separating worth from results reduces fear, speeds action, and strengthens internal confidence. Chapter Takeaway. Your value is not measured by wins or losses. Your worth is not tied to applause or criticism. Fear only rules when you let outcomes define your identity. When you separate effort from results, confidence becomes natural, not conditional.
Chapter 4. Stop explaining yourself. Listen up. One of the fastest ways to destroy your confidence and how people see you is by over-explaining yourself. Every time you justify your actions, your words, your choices, or your decisions, you are signaling doubt. You are saying, without realizing it, I might be wrong. I need approval. I'm not sure I belong here. And here's the brutal truth. People sense it immediately. When you over-explain, you lose power. You lose authority. You shrink, even when you think you're convincing them otherwise. Over-explaining shows insecurity. Insecurity is loud, even when disguised as politeness. Think about it. When you justify every decision, give too many reasons, or repeat yourself to convince someone, what are you really saying? You're saying, I don't trust myself. I need someone else to validate me. I am not enough unless you approve. Every unnecessary explanation chips away at the confidence others perceive in you. Even small things count. Explaining why you're late, justifying your opinion in a conversation, defending your choices even when they are correct. It's all weaknesses in disguise. Confident people state facts, not justifications. Here's the difference between weak and strong. Weak people explain. Confident people state. Confident people say, this is my decision. Confident people say, I did this because it makes sense. They do not grovel for understanding. They do not anticipate criticism. Their words carry authority because there is no doubt behind them. When you speak like this, people listen. They follow. They respect. You don't need to explain why you exist. You don't need to justify your ideas. You don't need to defend every choice. Silence can be powerful. Silence is a tool. It's underestimated. It is authority without words. Think about moments when someone interrupts you, challenges you, or questions your choice. What is the instinct? To fill the silence with more words, more reasoning, more excuses. Stop. Pause. Breathe. Sit in the silence. Let your presence speak. Let your calm carry authority. Silence creates mystery, respect, tension in your favor. When you over-explain, you destroy all three. When you pause, control returns to you. You don't owe clarity to those who don't care. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Not everyone deserves an explanation. Not everyone is entitled to your reasoning. Not everyone has the right to understand your choices. You've been taught to be nice and explain yourself as if every person deserves clarity. They don't. People who matter will notice without explanation. People who don't care are not worth your energy. When you start giving away clarity to the uninterested, you surrender power. Confident people understand this. They speak clearly, then stop. They act decisively, then move forward. They let their actions, not explanations, prove their point. Practical steps to stop explaining yourself. Audit your speech. Notice when you explain unnecessarily. Each over-explanation is a weak spot. Pause before answering. Ask yourself, do they need this explanation, or am I trying to prove myself?
Practice concise sentences. Speak in short, firm sentences that don't invite debate. Embrace silence. Let your presence, body language, and results do the talking. Set boundaries. You don't owe explanations to those uninterested in your growth or success. Each time you act without over-explaining, your internal confidence strengthens. Each time you resist the urge to justify, your authority grows. Chapter Takeaway. Over-explaining is confidence kryptonite. Confident people speak clearly, act decisively, and let silence do some of the work. You do not owe anyone clarity who does not care. When you master this, your next step is Chapter 5, Master Your Body Language. Because confidence isn't only what you say, it's also what you show physically. Posture, eye contact, and calm control amplify your authority in ways words never can.
Chapter 5. Master Your Body Language. Here's a truth most people ignore. Confidence isn't what you say, it's what you show. People feel confidence before they hear a word. Your posture, your movements, your presence, these speak louder than anything you say. If you want to be taken seriously, if you want people to follow you, respect you, or even fear your authority, you must master your body language. Confidence is felt before it's spoken. Think about it. You meet someone for the first time. You don't know them yet. You don't know their words, and yet within seconds you form an impression. Why? Because confidence is transmitted non-verbally. A person who walks tall, who holds their head high, whose movements are controlled, you feel their presence, you trust them, you respect them. The opposite is true as well. Slouched posture signals weakness. Avoiding eye contact signals fear. Fidgeting signals indecision. Your body speaks before your mouth opens. Master it, and your words land with authority. Ignore it, and no argument, no reasoning, no explanation will convince anyone of your strength. Posture, eye contact, and stillness show strength. 3 things you cannot ignore: posture, eye contact, and stillness. Posture. Stand tall, shoulders back, chest open. Don't slouch, don't shrink, don't try to take up less space. Strong posture is instantly authoritative. It communicates, I belong here, I am capable, I am in control. Eye contact. Look people in the eye, but not aggressively. Controlled eye contact communicates honesty, focus, and dominance. Looking down or away communicates doubt, fear, and weakness. Even brief glances repeated consistently anchor your authority. Stillness. Calm stillness is magnetic. Controlled movements communicate discipline. Fidgeting communicates chaos. Pausing before moving, before speaking, before reacting, that is power. These 3 combined make people listen first, question later. Nervous movements reveal inner chaos. Here's the truth. Your body is a mirror of your mind. Nervous tapping, shifting weight constantly, fidgeting with hands or hair. All of these betray inner chaos. People don't consciously notice it at first, but they feel it. They sense insecurity. They sense hesitation. Confidence isn't just acting brave, it's about internal control reflected externally. Your body will betray your mind unless you train it to obey you. Controlling your body changes your mind. The amazing part, controlling your body changes your mind. Science calls it embodied cognition.
In plain language, how you carry yourself affects how you think and feel. When you stand tall, move deliberately, hold still in chaos, you train your mind to feel calm, centered, and capable. Your nervous system adjusts, fear diminishes, focus strengthens, confidence rises without saying a single word. This is why elite performers, leaders, and influential people practice body control, because posture and presence are not decoration, they are strategy. Practical action steps. Audit your posture. Notice how you stand, sit, and walk throughout the day. Correct slouching immediately. Practice eye contact. In conversations, hold attention without staring. Make it natural but assertive. Eliminate nervous habits. Pinch, tap, fidget. Identify it, then replace it with controlled movements. Move deliberately. Every step, every gesture, every shift of weight should have intent. Train in stillness. Practice calm breathing and silent pauses. Let stillness anchor authority. Consistency is key. Each day you control your body, you control your mind. Each day your presence grows more magnetic, more commanding, more unshakable. Chapter takeaway. Confidence is felt before it's spoken. Posture, eye contact, and stillness communicate authority. Nervous movements reveal doubt, but controlling your body trains your mind and amplifies internal confidence. Next, we move to Chapter 6, Move Like You Belong, where you'll learn how to project presence in any room, any situation, and claim your authority before saying a single word.
Chapter 6. Move like you belong. Here's a truth most people ignore. Confidence doesn't start when you speak. It doesn't begin with your words. It enters before you do. The moment you step into a room, people feel it. Before you open your mouth, before you introduce yourself, before anyone even notices your presence, confidence has already arrived. If you want to command respect, influence outcomes, and be taken seriously, you must learn how to move like you belong. Confidence enters a room before words do. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately noticed someone? You didn't hear them speak first. You felt them. There's a difference between entering a space timidly and owning it from the first step. Timid entry says, "I'm unsure. I hope I'm welcome. Maybe I don't belong." Confident entry says, "I am here. I belong. This space adapts to me, not the other way around." People listen differently to someone who owns their space. They follow differently. They respect differently. Your body, your pace, your posture, everything communicates before you say a single word. Acting as if trains your nervous system. Here's the power move most people miss: acting as if. Pretend you already belong. Pretend you are already confident. Pretend you are already respected. This is not lying. This is training. Your nervous system does not distinguish between pretend and real when it comes to body signals. When you act with authority, your brain begins to catch up. You start to feel it naturally. The hesitation fades. The fear diminishes. The energy in the room shifts in your favor. Elite performers, leaders, and influential people all do this, intentionally or instinctively. They move as if they own the moment, and soon they do. Hesitation exposes self-doubt. Nothing exposes insecurity faster than hesitation. When you pause too long, when you look around seeking permission, when you shuffle your feet, people notice it. They don't always verbalize it, but they sense it. Hesitation signals, "I am unsure, I don't belong, I am waiting for approval." Even small delays convey doubt. Even slight shuffles undermine authority.
Confidence is decisive, it is purposeful, it is unapologetic. When you act quickly, with intention, with certainty, you claim your space. Hesitation is the opposite. It hands your power to anyone observing. Belonging is claimed, not given. No one is going to give you permission to belong. No one will hand you authority, presence, or respect. You must take it. Belonging is claimed through action, posture, and presence. It is claimed by walking confidently, speaking deliberately, and existing without apology. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Stop waiting for someone to nod in approval. Stop questioning whether you deserve your space. Claim it. Own it. Move like you belong, and the room adjusts around you. Practical action steps. Walk in with intention. Every step should convey presence. No shuffling, no dragging, no hesitation. Own your posture. Stand tall, chest open, head high. You are visible and commanding. Use the as-if principle. Act as if you belong, even if fear whispers otherwise. Train your nervous system through repetition. Stop seeking permission. Make your presence known without asking. No apologies, no justifications. Practice decisive movement. Enter spaces, navigate conversations, and interact with clarity and authority. Hesitation is not an option. The more consistently you do this, the more natural it becomes. Soon, moving like you belong is no longer acting, it is you. Chapter Takeaway. Confidence arrives before words. Acting as if you belong trains your body and mind. Hesitation exposes doubt, but decisiveness claims authority. Belonging is not given, it is claimed through presence and action.
Chapter 7. Emotions are signals, not commands. Let's get this straight. Feeling fear, anger, or anxiety does not make you weak. Feeling doubt does not make you incapable. What breaks confidence is not the emotion itself, it's obeying it. Most people live their lives as emotional puppets. They react first and think later. They let anger control their words, fear control their actions, and anxiety control their decisions. Stop it. Emotions are signals, not commands. They are information. They are alerts. They are nothing more than data about the situation, your environment, or your thoughts. They are not instructions to act, freeze, or quit. Feeling fear doesn't break confidence. Fear is natural. It is wired into you. It exists for one reason, to keep you alive. But survival instinct is not the same as success instinct. Fear can protect you from danger. It cannot protect you from opportunity. If every time you feel fear you stop, hesitate, or retreat, you are choosing weakness over growth. Confidence is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to move forward despite it. Fear signals that you are stretching. It signals that you are stepping outside comfort zones. It signals that you are doing something that matters. Ignore the old myth that fear equals failure. Fear equals signal, not verdict. Obeying emotion does. Here's the difference. Feeling fear equals neutral. Letting fear dictate action equals disaster. Obeying your emotions makes you reactive. It undermines authority. It destroys presence. Think about it. Every time you hesitated, spoke poorly, or avoided a decision because of what you felt, you handed your power away. Weak people are controlled by moods. Strong people control their moods. They respond intentionally, not emotionally. Every emotion obeyed is a vote against your confidence. Every action despite emotion is a vote for authority. Emotional control strengthens authority. Control over your emotions is not about repression. It's not pretending you feel nothing. It's not being robotic or passive.
It is about managing your reactions. It is about knowing, I feel this, I notice this, I will choose my response. When you master this, people notice. They sense calm authority. They respect your presence. They feel the difference between a reactive person and someone who decides first, reacts last. Emotional control is magnetic. It is powerful. It communicates, I am in charge. I do not obey chaos. I lead. Calm is control, not passivity. Calm is not weakness. Calm is not avoiding action. Calm is not waiting for permission. Calm is strategic. It is the mental equivalent of standing firm in the eye of a storm. When you remain calm, you think clearly, you respond deliberately, you make stronger decisions. Calm communicates strength. It communicates confidence. It communicates authority without saying a single word. Being reactive, frantic, or emotional, on the other hand, signals instability. It tells others, I am ruled by what I feel, not what I decide. Confidence grows when you act despite fear. Here's the kicker. Confidence is forged in the arena of fear. Speak when your stomach twists in anxiety. Move when your heart races. Decide when doubt whispers, wait, maybe not. Each time you act despite fear, your nervous system learns a new rule. Fear is a signal, not a stop sign. Over time, this rewires your brain. Fear loses power. Action becomes your default. Confidence becomes your identity. The strongest people are not the ones who never feel fear. They are the ones who feel it, recognize it, and act anyway. Practical action steps. Notice your emotions. Name what you feel without judgment. I am anxious. I am nervous. I am afraid. Separate feeling from action. Ask, does this emotion demand my obedience or just my awareness? Act deliberately. Take one action despite the emotion. Small steps build authority. Practice calm under pressure. Pause, breathe, center yourself before responding. Track your growth. Every time you act despite fear, confidence grows. Emotional control becomes automatic. Chapter takeaway. Emotions are signals, not commands. Feeling fear doesn't break confidence. Obeying it does. Calm is control, not passivity. Confidence grows the moment you move, speak, and decide despite fear.
Chapter 8. Stop comparing yourself to others. Comparison is a confidence killer. It drains faster than failure, faster than rejection, faster than any setback you can imagine. Yet almost everyone does it. Almost everyone measures their worth against someone else's success, someone else's appearance, someone else's timeline. Stop right now. Comparison fractures your focus. It erodes your identity. It makes you small. Comparison drains your confidence faster than failure. Here's why. When you fail, it's temporary. You take it, you learn, you move forward. Comparison, on the other hand, never ends. There is always someone richer, smarter, faster, better. There is always someone doing more than you. There is always someone ahead. Looking sideways injects poison into your mind. You start to believe, I am not enough, I am behind, I am lacking. Failure is a lesson. Comparison is a trap. Every minute you measure yourself against someone else, you weaken your internal authority. You hand control of your confidence to people who don't even know you. You let strangers dictate your worth. Looking at others fractures focus and identity. When you compare, you split your attention. Your focus goes outward. You stop working on yourself. Comparison fractures identity because you start defining yourself by someone else's reality. Their career, your value. Their body, your self-esteem. Their success, your confidence.
You lose touch with who you are, who you're becoming, and what you're capable of. Comparison doesn't just kill confidence, it destroys clarity. You can't see your path when your eyes are fixed on someone else's. Your only reference point should be yourself, not your neighbor, not your coworker, not some influencer on social media. Measure growth against your own standards, your own past performance, your own progress. Ask yourself, am I improving? Am I stronger today than I was yesterday? Am I closer to my goals than last month? Your progress is internal, measurable only by your own actions and effort. That's the only comparison that matters. Everything else is noise. Comparing to yourself builds momentum. Comparing to others drains it. When you compete with yourself, every win, no matter how small, builds momentum. You hit a goal, that fuels your next goal. You improve a skill, that builds confidence naturally. You take action despite fear, that compounds internal authority. When you compete with others, you never win. There's always someone ahead. There's always someone better. You chase shadows, not growth. Comparison to others leaves you frustrated, anxious, and insecure. Comparison to yourself leaves you empowered, focused, and unstoppable. Practical action steps. Audit your triggers. Identify when and where you compare. Social media, work, friend circles. Shift focus inward. Ask, am I better today than I was yesterday? Track personal growth. Keep a journal of wins, lessons, and progress. Only measure against your past self. Limit external noise. Reduce exposure to things that make you compare unnecessarily. Celebrate small wins. Every step forward is a victory. No applause required from anyone else. Remember, confidence is internal. It grows when your attention is on your journey, not someone else's. Chapter takeaway. Comparison is a thief. It drains confidence faster than failure and fractures identity. Your only reference point is yourself. Measure progress internally, celebrate small wins, and build unstoppable momentum from within.
Chapter 9. Be comfortable being disliked. You don't need to be liked. And regardless how you people please, you'd still not be liked by everyone. Needing approval is toxic to confidence. It robs you of power. It robs you of freedom. Most people live as approval addicts. They adjust their words, actions, and even beliefs to make others like them. They shrink to fit expectations. They censor themselves to avoid conflict. Stop it. Needing to be liked is a slow death of authority. When your confidence depends on someone else's opinion, you are always at risk. Always. Needing approval weakens power. Power is internal. It comes from self-trust, discipline, and clarity. Needing approval is the opposite of power. It says, I am not enough. I cannot trust my judgment. I need you to validate me to exist. Every decision made to please someone else subtracts from your authority. Every compromise made out of fear of rejection weakens your presence. The strongest people aren't liked by everyone. They don't care if everyone agrees. They move first, act decisively, and let people adjust. Rejection only affects borrowed confidence. Rejection hurts only if your confidence is borrowed. Borrowed confidence equals needing approval. Borrowed confidence equals letting others' opinions dictate your value. If your confidence is built from within, rejection becomes neutral. It's feedback, not a verdict. It's information, not identity. Think about it. Someone disagrees with you. Does it shake your belief in your abilities? Only if your authority is borrowed.
Someone criticizes you. Does it destroy you? Only if your self-worth is outsourced. Build internal confidence, and rejection becomes powerless. Acting independently risks being misunderstood. Here's another uncomfortable truth. Acting independently, making decisions without seeking approval, will sometimes make people misinterpret you. You will be disliked. You will be questioned. You will be misunderstood. It is a sign that you are moving on your own terms. Confident people accept this reality. They know not everyone will like the strong version of you. Not everyone will understand the decisions you make for your growth. That's fine. You don't exist for everyone else's comfort. Independence is a magnet for respect, even if it attracts temporary criticism. Confidence grows when approval no longer holds sway over you. When you stop seeking permission, the world shifts. You start speaking with authority, acting decisively, making choices without hesitation. The more you act without seeking approval, the stronger your internal trust becomes. The less power others' opinions have over you, the more natural your confidence feels. You no longer need applause. You no longer need agreement. You simply act, and the results follow. Practical action steps. Identify approval habits. Notice where you bend, adjust, or explain yourself to please others. Take small, independent actions. Make a decision without consulting or seeking permission. Notice how it feels. Practice saying no. Every time you refuse something that doesn't serve you, you reclaim authority. Reframe rejection. View it as data, not judgment. Your value remains intact. Build internal feedback loops. Track growth through your effort, discipline, and results, not external approval. Over time, being disliked becomes a sign you are moving correctly. It is not a threat. It is proof that you are standing in your own power. Chapter takeaway. Needing approval weakens power. Rejection only matters when confidence is borrowed. Independent action risks being misunderstood, but that is where true authority is born. Confidence grows the moment you act without needing approval. Next, we move to Chapter 10, Keep Small Promises to Yourself, where you'll discover how internal reliability and self-discipline build unshakable self-trust and lasting confidence. Chapter 10, Keep Small Promises to Yourself. Here's something most people overlook. Confidence isn't built in big gestures. It isn't built by shouting, grand achievements, or dramatic wins. It's built in small, consistent actions. Your word is your power. Every promise you make to yourself is a contract with your future self. Every promise you break is a crack in your foundation. And most people break more promises to themselves than anyone else. They plan to wake up early but hit snooze. They promise to exercise but skip it. They say they will finish a project but get distracted. Every broken promise weakens self-trust. Every small follow-through reinforces authority within yourself. Reliability, not intensity, builds confidence. Confidence isn't about intensity. It is not about sporadic moments of courage or discipline. Real confidence is reliability, doing what you said you would do, following through when no one is watching, keeping commitments to yourself consistently. Intensity is flashy, it fades. Reliability endures. It compounds. It creates a solid core of self-trust that cannot be shaken by fear, doubt, or criticism. Breaking promises weakens self-trust. Think about it. Every time you fail to honor a commitment to yourself, your mind registers it as a warning. I cannot trust myself. I cannot rely on my word. I may not follow through. This is subtle but devastating. It seeps into every part of your life: decisions, action, risk-taking, and confidence. Self-trust is fragile when you break promises to yourself. It is the most important form of trust you will ever have. Without it, no amount of external validation, coaching, or advice will make you confident. Small follow-through creates inner stability. You don't need massive wins. You need small, consistent wins. Wake up when you said you would. Do one task you promised yourself. Exercise, write, plan, or act. Just follow through. Each small act of follow-through sends a signal to your nervous system. I am reliable. I can count on myself. I keep my word. Over time, these small actions stack. They form inner stability. They make you unshakable. They make hesitation nearly impossible. Consistency calms the mind. When your word carries weight, your mind stops arguing with you. Indecision, doubt, and anxiety shrink. Your internal dialogue changes from "will I actually do this" to "I always follow through." Consistency reduces mental chaos. It creates confidence you feel in your bones. It is quiet, steady, and unstoppable. External validation isn't necessary anymore. You trust yourself. Your mind trusts your actions. Your actions trust your discipline. Confidence grows when your word matters to yourself. The strongest people are not the loudest or flashiest. They're the ones who do what they say. When your word matters to yourself, it becomes unbreakable authority. It carries weight in your life and in the lives of others. Start small. Keep a single promise today, then another tomorrow, then another the day after that. Soon, your confidence is automatic. Not because anyone praised you, not because anyone approved, but because you proved to yourself that you can be trusted. Practical action step. Pick single promise you can absolutely keep today. Even 5 minutes of action counts. Track your commitments. Write down promises to yourself. Check them off when completed. Avoid overcommitting. Small, consistent promises beat big, inconsistent ones. Reinforce daily. Every follow-through strengthens self-trust. Make it a habit. Reflect weekly. Review what you kept and what you missed. Learn, adjust, but never justify failure. Consistency compounds. Small wins today become massive internal authority tomorrow. Your word becomes your confidence. Your confidence becomes your life. Chapter takeaway. Confidence is built on reliability, not intensity. Breaking promises to yourself weakens self-trust. Small follow-through creates inner stability, calms the mind, and compounds into unstoppable confidence.
Chapter 11. Move before you feel ready. Here's a hard truth. Most people wait for confidence to appear before taking action. They think, I'll start when I feel ready. I need a perfect plan first. I'll do it once I have no fear. Stop lying to yourself. Confidence doesn't arrive first. Confidence is built through action. Every hesitation, every delay, every moment you wait for certainty is fear disguised as caution. Overthinking is fear in a suit and tie. It smells smart, but it's still fear. Overthinking is fear in disguise. Overthinking tricks you. It pretends to be intelligence. It whispers, wait a little longer, analyze more, what if it goes wrong? And you listen. Newsflash, nothing perfect ever happens without risk. Nothing successful ever starts with certainty. Overthinking is a way of stalling life. It's your mind's way of saying, I don't feel ready. I don't feel strong enough. I might fail. Every second spent analyzing instead of acting is time wasted, confidence eroding quietly in the background. Action comes before confidence.
Confidence is a byproduct of doing, not planning. When you start, even imperfectly, you gain clarity. You learn what works. You feel capability in your body, not just your mind. The paradox is, the more you act, the more confidence rises. The more you wait, the more doubt strengthens. Top performers, leaders, and winners know this instinctively. They start before they feel ready, and the readiness catches up along the way. Movement creates clarity faster than planning. Here's the reality. Planning is good, but over-planning is a trap. Planning delays results. Planning amplifies doubt. Planning gives you the illusion of progress without actually moving forward. Movement, on the other hand, teaches faster than any plan ever could. Every step you take reveals information. Every decision made produces feedback. Every action clarifies what's next. Clarity comes from doing, not thinking. Momentum becomes your guide, not fear. Momentum silences hesitation. Once you act, something magical happens. Momentum builds. Momentum silences hesitation. Momentum builds belief. Momentum creates flow. When you take one decisive action, your nervous system shifts. It tells your mind, we are capable, we can handle this, keep moving. Then you take the next step, and the next. Doubt loses its grip. Fear becomes smaller. Action breeds confidence, not the other way around. Waiting reinforces hesitation. Every time you wait for certainty, fear grows, doubt strengthens, hesitation becomes a habit. Procrastination is confidence's killer. Every day you wait, the habit of inaction solidifies. Every day you delay, you teach yourself, I need readiness, I need permission, I need assurance. Newsflash, you never get full readiness. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be risk. There will always be fear. The only solution? Move anyway. Act anyway. Step forward anyway. Practical action steps. Take imperfect action. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Start small and adjust. Set micro goals. Begin with the smallest actionable step and build momentum. Track results, not fears. Measure progress through action, not imagined outcomes. Embrace discomfort. Feeling scared or uncertain is normal. Do it anyway. Create a bias toward movement. Make starting your default, not waiting. Remember, the nervous system learns through doing. Confidence follows action, not planning, not waiting, not overthinking. Chapter Takeaway. Overthinking is fear in disguise. Confidence does not come before action. It is built through movement. Momentum silences doubt, while waiting reinforces hesitation. Chapter 12. Pressure reveals your confidence. Here's the truth no one talks about. Pressure doesn't destroy confidence. Pressure reveals it. Stress is a magnifying glass. It exposes the cracks. It shows exactly what's real and what's borrowed. If your confidence is fake, fragile, or dependent on comfort, you'll collapse under stress. If your confidence is built, internal, and unshakable, you'll stand taller, think clearer, and act stronger than ever before. Stress doesn't destroy confidence, it shows its strength. Life will always test you. Challenges, criticism, deadlines, conflicts, they're inevitable. Pressure doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't care about your preparation. But here's the good news. Stress doesn't break confidence. It simply reveals the strength of your foundation. If your confidence is real, stress becomes a tool, not a threat. It becomes an opportunity to demonstrate control, composure, and authority. Weak confidence trembles. Strong confidence shines. Weak confidence collapses under pressure. Weak confidence is built on external validation, fear of rejection, approval from others, comfortable routines. Put someone like this under pressure and what happens? Hesitation, overthinking, self-doubt, panic. The mask falls off. Everyone sees the cracks. Even you see them. If you can't hold your nerve under stress, you don't truly own your confidence. Stability under pressure creates quiet dominance. Strong confidence isn't loud. It doesn't need to prove itself. Real authority is quiet. It's the calm in the storm. The person who walks into chaos and doesn't flinch. Stability under pressure signals dominance. It signals competence. It signals that you control your mind, your emotions, and your actions, regardless of circumstance. People follow those who are stable. They respect those who are unshakable. They notice those who act decisively when others panic. Confidence is proven in hard moments, not easy ones. Comfort zones are illusions. No one becomes truly confident by lounging in ease. No one becomes powerful by playing small. Confidence is proven in hard moments. The meeting where everything goes wrong. The argument where everyone is angry. The challenge where stakes are high. The moment you feel fear, pressure, or chaos. It's easy to be confident when life is smooth. It's impossible to fake when life pushes back. Those who rise under pressure cement their authority. Those who crumble reveal their weakness. Practical steps to test your confidence under pressure. Seek controlled stress. Practice discomfort in safe ways, deadlines, public speaking, intense workouts. Observe reactions. Notice where your mind and body resist. This is where growth happens. Breathe and center. Under stress, focus on controlled breathing to maintain clarity. Act decisively. Pressure demands action, not hesitation. Every action under stress strengthens confidence. Reflect and internalize. Each stressful moment survived reinforces your foundation. Confidence grows when tested. Remember, pressure doesn't punish you, it educates you. It shows whether your confidence is borrowed or built. It turns ordinary people into leaders. Chapter takeaway. Stress doesn't destroy confidence, it reveals its foundation. Weak confidence collapses under pressure. Stability under stress creates quiet dominance. Confidence is proven in hard moments, not easy ones. Next, we move to Chapter 13, Trust Yourself Without Needing Certainty, where you'll discover why waiting for perfect conditions is a trap, and how self-trust grows through action, mistakes, and adaptation.
Chapter 13. Become unrecognizable. Listen closely. You cannot become truly confident while holding on to who you used to be. Your old self, the one who doubted, hesitated, and sought approval, cannot survive if you want to live as someone unstoppable. Transformation requires shedding the familiar, letting go of habits, thoughts, and identities that no longer serve you. You must become unrecognizable to yourself and the world. Old versions of yourself must die for new confidence to live. This is uncomfortable but necessary. The version of you that waits, worries, overthinks, and fears rejection cannot coexist with the new confident you. Old self hesitates to act. New self moves decisively despite fear. Old self seeks approval. New self trusts inner authority. Old self doubts every decision. New self acts with clarity and self-trust. Growth is ruthless.
It demands a break from the familiar. Every old habit you cling to is a leash holding your confidence back. To evolve, you must kill old limitations. Painful? Yes. Necessary? Absolutely. Consistency rewires your identity. Here's the secret most people miss. Identity is built through repeated action, not thoughts, affirmations, or intentions. What you do consistently defines who you are. Daily habits, choices, and actions reshape your nervous system. Repeated action rewires your mind to automatically respond as your confident self. Consistency transforms performance into identity. After enough repetition, confidence stops being something you do. It becomes who you are. Confidence becomes normal and permanent. When your identity aligns with confidence, it becomes default. You don't need courage. It's automatic. You don't need permission. It's unnecessary. You don't need validation. You trust yourself. Confidence is no longer an act. It's permanent, quiet, undeniable. It doesn't rely on circumstances, approval, or luck. This is what it means to become unrecognizable. Your old self fades and your new self is permanent. You are not just becoming confident, you are becoming someone entirely new. Let me be blunt. You are not simply adding confidence to your old self. You are creating a new identity. Someone who acts decisively. Someone who doesn't wait for approval. Someone who keeps promises to themselves. Someone whose presence commands respect naturally. This is radical change. It is uncomfortable, but that discomfort is proof that transformation is happening. The world will notice. People will treat you differently. Most importantly, you will notice yourself differently. Practical steps to become unrecognizable. Identify old habits to eliminate. List behaviors that no longer serve your confident self. Replace with consistent new actions. Every new habit rewires your identity. Commit to daily transformation. Small, repeated actions compound into permanent change. Observe shifts in self-perception. Track how you respond differently in situations. Accept discomfort as growth. Resistance is the sign you're shedding the old self. Transformation is messy, it is uncomfortable, it is deliberate, and it is the only way to make confidence permanent. Chapter takeaway. Old versions of yourself must die for new confidence to live. Consistency rewires identity. Confidence becomes normal and permanent. You are not just becoming confident, you are becoming someone entirely new.
Closing. Congratulations. You've listened. You've absorbed. You've faced truths most people avoid. Now it's time to act. Confidence isn't something you find. It's not a magic switch. It isn't something someone gives you. Confidence is earned. It's built brick by brick, action by action. You've learned the principles. Stop seeking validation. Your judgment is final. Understand why doubt exists. It no longer controls you. Separate your worth from outcomes. Effort, not applause, defines you. Stop explaining yourself. Let action speak. Master your body and movement. Presence is felt before words. Emotions are signals, not commands. Feel, but don't obey. Stop comparing. Your only reference is yourself. Be comfortable being disliked. Approval is a leash. Release it. Keep small promises. Discipline builds unshakable self-trust. Move before you feel ready. Action creates clarity and momentum. Pressure doesn't destroy confidence, it reveals it.
Trust yourself without certainty. Decisions refine judgment. Build self-respect through consistent action. Become unrecognizable. Old selves die. New selves rise. Every lesson is a tool. Every principle is a lever. But tools don't work unless you use them. So here's your call to action. Start today. No excuses. Take one action, small or large, that proves to yourself you can trust your judgment. Keep one promise to yourself. Make your word stronger than anyone's opinion. Step into one situation you've been avoiding because you didn't feel ready. Do this repeatedly, daily, relentlessly. Because the world doesn't wait for confidence to appear. Opportunities don't pause for you to feel ready. Life rewards those who move, act, and trust themselves despite fear. Be bold. Be relentless. Be the person who walks into every room, every challenge, every moment, and commands it without hesitation. You are no longer who you were yesterday. You are stronger. You are unstoppable. You are dangerously confident. Now go, act. Show the world what happens when someone trusts themselves fully.